Good morning, you guys. Day number 80 of my Stay Batical to 50. This is my 100-day journey, transforming my body, my mind, pretty much observing whatever else happens. Hello to you guys. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great day so far. I am getting started a little bit later, as I noted I would. A couple of days ago, I took a rest day yesterday. I was traveling. And so thank you for being patient while I travel sometimes, but I hope you're having a great day today. As you know, I'm on this 100-day journey to change my body, my mind, all the things, and it's going swimmingly well. Day number 80. Holy crap, 80 days into this, and I'm literally down to less than 3 weeks now from this all being over. In fact, it's exactly 3 weeks from today will be day 100. And all of this input that I've done on my body, all the biohacks, all the things that I'm doing, the culmination of it being the start of something great that will last long after this 100 days is over. And that was the whole point. I didn't go in the 100 days to say, look what I can do in 100 days, and then that's it. I did 100 days as the goal, to really kind of prove to myself I can do something over a sustained period of time, number one. But then to say, okay, well, if you can do it for 100 days, why can't you do it always, right? And sometimes you'll add new things in, and I'm going to do that. I'm real anxious to be adding in more strength training types of things, and so that's definitely on the agenda here very soon to add strength training. I'm debating if I'm going to join Planet Fitness and go back to kind of a traditional gym setting, or if I'm going to flip my tire or swing kettlebells. I got some kettlebells at the house, or do body weight exercises. I got lots of ideas when it comes to resistance training. And actually, I was interviewed by a friend of mine who is a trainer, and she was asking me on the interview, what am I doing for movement? So I told her about this walk every day, and that when my lower body is more whole, and it almost is all the way back, the twisted ankle and everything, that I want to do some strength training. And she's like, well, when you get started, let me know and I will help customize some workouts for you. So I got a little bit of help there that I'm looking forward to. But all in all, it's gone well, and I look forward to beyond the 100 days. But let's get into what I'm going to talk about here today, because one of my favorite parts of this walk and talk, besides getting to walk along my trail, I end up going about 4 to 4.5 miles on this trail, by the way. Besides that, I get to talk to you guys, and I get the opportunity to share thoughts on my mind, usually from a mindset perspective. And this one here today, I think, is something that a lot of people will relate to. Be disappointed about things in your life. There's a lot of things we can be disappointed about. Our life isn't going the way we wanted it to. We didn't quite get that job we wanted. You're not feeling fulfilled in your personal life. Maybe you had personal financial goals you wanted to reach, and they're seemingly never coming, and just the opposite. You keep getting bills for things, and you don't have enough paycheck to pay for all the bills of the hopes and ideas that you want to do in your life. That's a big thing that will make people disappointed. Maybe relationships with people not quite working out the way you want them to. That's a big disappointment for a lot of people. Just go down your life. Literally all kinds of things you can feel disappointed in. And it's okay. I want to give you permission. Not that you need my permission, but I want to give you permission. It's okay to be disappointed. Disappointment is one of those human experiences that if you never are disappointed, I don't think you're living your life right. I think we all have disappointments in our life. The problem, though, is when people get disappointed, they don't usually turn it into a positive. They usually take on a destructive behavior. Oh, disappointment means something is wrong with me. Something needs to change about me, when it might not even be about you at all. It could just be the circumstances didn't line up the way you wanted them to. That's disappointing, but that has nothing to do with you. It could be so many things that would lead to that. But what we do is in our minds, we internalize that stuff. We make it personal about us. We're the instigator, we're the cause, and then we get defeated. So my message here today is be disappointed, but don't be defeated. Because the moment you are defeated, then all hope is lost. When you feel defeated, there's no way you climb out of that morass you have put yourself in. And it becomes almost what you expect it to be by having those thoughts. And I've been down this road, guys. When you're disappointed, it's so easy to let your mind be defeated, to fool yourself into thinking the disappointment is the heavy reality. And honestly, disappointment is the illusion of reality. If you stop and think about it, disappointment is merely an illusion of reality. Because most of the time when you're disappointed, it's because you had an expectation level of certain things, and then that expectation didn't get met. And it's usually never as bad as you think it is. Expectations are not always the reality. And yet we put those expectations in our head and we make it our reality. So that's the tough part. You become disappointed because things didn't go quite the way you wanted them to. But maybe they go well and they weren't to the level of what you wanted. Did you do a good or a bad thing? Your mind is telling you all these things to feel defeated, to feel deflated, to feel like a failure because you had that disappointment. And it's so easy to fall into the trap of, because you're disappointed, you failed, you messed up, you're irredeemable. A lot of people that think that way, they do. And so my encouragement to you guys here today is feel free to be disappointed. Life has lots of those. Disappointment is as much of a human characteristic as anything else you can do. But what you don't do when you're disappointed is internalize it. What you don't do is allow it to consume your every thought, everything about you. I know that's hard because disappointment feels heavy. When things don't quite go your way, you feel that. It creates so many mixed emotions within you that make you think you're in a worse spot than you really are. Been there, done that, and should probably write the book. But there is hope, my friends. Big time hope that when you're disappointed, you don't have to be defeated. You can rise victorious over that disappointment. Learn the lessons of it. Ask yourself, why are you feeling disappointed? What is it about this thing, this situation, that has you disappointed? And once you get to the root of that, it helps you understand it better. It helps you learn from it. It helps you grow from it. A lot of you are on a health journey, very much like me. And when you're on a journey to better your health, maybe you step on a scale and you don't quite see a number you like. What do? You feel sick, right? You feel disappointed. Excuse me, there's somebody burning some leaves, and I don't do smoke very well. Hang on a second. I'm almost out of it. Woo! That came on very suddenly. I'm disappointed I can't breathe. Okay, I think I'm out of it. But disappointment in a health journey could be having these expectations for weight loss. So to avert that, maybe you do what I'm doing on my journey. You don't weigh yourself. I know that freaks some people out. How do you know how you're doing if you don't weigh yourself, Jimmy? Well, my shirts fit looser. I feel great. It's easy to fall into the trap of what people expect of you. And that also leads to disappointment, by the way. Expectations of society. Expectations of what you yourself have in your life. And those expectations will just frustrate you to the point that you will feel disappointment. Even if you're doing great, even if all the things in your life are falling exactly the way they need to fall. Note how I worded that. They're falling into place the way they need to fall. Maybe not the way you want them to. I have learned this lesson very strongly in my life. That when I'm disappointed, it's usually because I had hopes and dreams and thoughts for how my life should go. And sometimes the disappointment is, well, I didn't get what I wanted. And almost invariably when that happens, I get something better. What I wanted was not near as cool as what actually ended up happening. And so look at disappointment in that way as well of, all right, you didn't get what you wanted, but that doesn't mean you won't get something even better. And it took me a long time to learn that, to absorb that, yes, I have thoughts and hopes and dreams in my life, but maybe those things are too limiting. Maybe you're missing out on an opportunity to get an even better outcome for your life. It's why I've learned to roll with things a lot more than I used to. I'm a very ambitious, hardworking guy with lots of ideas and dreams of things I want for my life. And sometimes when those things in the past, when those things did not come to fruition, I would not handle that well. And I'd be like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get these things that I want? And then I look back at those things now in hindsight and go, well, thank God I didn't get that thing that I thought I wanted, because what I have now is far, far better. This is why I'm saying be disappointed about things, but don't be defeated, because what ends up happening may be much more glorious, much more suited to what you need than anything you ever imagined before. So I hope this is encouraging to you guys today. I definitely want to hear what you have to say about being disappointed but not defeated. Do you feel defeated in life at times? I think if we're honest, we all have that feeling from time to time. You would not be human if you did not feel disappointed and defeated at things happening in life. It's so easy to think that things need to go smoothly. Hello. But things don't always go smoothly. Things don't always go your way. Tell me about a time when you felt disappointment. What did you feel like? What was your inclination? Was your inclination to be and feel defeated in your life? Or did you see the disappointment as opportunity? Opportunity to prove to yourself that maybe, just maybe, there's something better out there. Now I realize that that latter example is very rare. Very few people have disappointment and go, oh yay, I've got a great thing coming my way because I got disappointed in life. Very few people can turn disappointment into desire for new opportunities to come into their life that maybe they didn't think about before. Most of us do get defeated. Most of us do take it very hard. And it's what you do in that moment. If you get the defeatedness, then the rest of your life starts to feel that pressure and that pulling you down, the weight of the disappointment. goes across all areas of your life. Think about this. Think about you have a dream job and you're working at the same company, but then your dream job opens up in that company and you apply for the job. The interview goes well. They seem to, at least on the outside, like you and want you to be their employee. And then suddenly, at the last minute, they say, sorry, we gave it to someone else. How do you feel in that moment? I think it's obvious. You feel disappointed. You feel rejected, right? Good morning. And so when you get in that mode of disappointment, where does your brain go? What's wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? Did I not do enough? Did I not show them parts of me that they can't see? Why did that other person deserve it more than me? We have all those things that float in our head. All natural, by the way. If you didn't have all those thoughts and more that I just described, you're not human. So I get it. You're going to have those emotions and you're going to have those thoughts. But it's at that point, that flash point of the disappointment being right there, that you have a decision to make. You can let that weigh you down, punch you in the face, and continue to beat you up over and over and over again until you feel utterly defeated. And then look at what happens in the rest of your life. Because this job opportunity didn't work out, it was a dream job, now you're going to mope around your friends, around your family, around your other coworkers, and then it becomes a real problem because they feel that. They feel all that energy coming from you from the disappointment. And then how long does it last? Is it just a day or two? A couple weeks? A couple months? Or maybe it becomes so much a part of who you are that it ruins the rest of your life. Not everybody does that, but a lot of people do. Take things so hard that it then becomes a part of their personality. Well, I guess I'm one of those people who good things never happen. I have this desire in my heart, and yet I guess it's going to be left unfulfilled. And that's the way people go. They psychologically psych themselves out. And they create this narrative in their head of, okay, I guess I'm always disappointed, so I'm going to always be defeated. That's one way you could go with that. But you can flip the script. You can suddenly say, you know what? Yes, I'm disappointed. And yes, I had hopes and dreams and things I had in my heart that I was hoping would happen, but there must be something better that this opportunity would not have availed me to experience. And when you flip that script and you allow your mind to view disappointment in a new way, where you're no longer defeated, you're lifting yourself up, you're creating a new narrative of, okay, this wasn't it. Or, okay, not yet. I can go back to many times in my life when I wanted something so badly in my life to happen. And I was disappointed when they did not happen. But it wasn't never happen. It was not yet. It was your time has not come. But then when the time did come, boy, was it good. I'll give you a story. And I know I'm talking long, but I'm waiting for you guys to write a few more comments. If this is resonating, please talk today. I'll tell you a story. So 2009, I released my second self-published book. It's called 21 Life Lessons from Living La Vida Low Carb. It's available on Amazon if you want to get a copy. And I wrote that book, and it sold pretty well. I sold about 10,000 copies of it in digital and paper form. And so about a year later, I got an email from Rodale Publishers. And they had written me over the years. They were a big health publisher at the time. They had written me over the years of my podcast, hey, we got a new book from one of our authors. Will you have them on your podcast? They had done that like a dozen times. I'm like, okay, Rodale values the Living La Vida Low Carb show. They see that it has worth. And so they would continue to send all these authors to me. And I thought, I wonder if they would be interested in me being an author for them. And so I send them a cover letter and kind of a manuscript idea. And I sent it off to them and I said, hey, I would love to be considered as an author. Here's my proposal. They wrote me back, you guys. And this is no lie. They wrote me back and they said, why would we make you an author? I was like, you seem to think my platform is pretty good because you keep coming back to me with all your authors. Obviously, I'm doing something well in the podcasting world. I figured you would want that kind of an author for your imprint. And they're like, nope, not interested. So I felt disappointed in the moment. I was like, what the hell? Here I am pimping all their books and their authors. I've already shown I know how to write and talk. Why are they not interested? And it would have been so easy for me to say, well, there was my chance to be with a big publisher. There was my opportunity, my golden opportunity to finally live out a dream of being an author for a major publisher. And I could have gone that way. But you know what I did? I said, I'm going to prove them wrong. I doubled down and I started pursuing other opportunities. And 2 years later, you guys, this is no lie. 2 years later, I reached out to Victory Belt Publishing and I said, hey, my name's Jimmy Moore. I've got a podcast. I think at that point had maybe 600 episodes. And I have a lot of ideas for books. Would you be interested in having me write books for you? And wouldn't you know, they called me back and they said, oh, we've been watching you. We know your talent as a podcaster. And we've seen some of your writings on your blog. Yes, we want you to write for us. And I was like, wait, what? I was shocked because that Rodale rejection gave me great disappointment. But I didn't fold. I didn't fold under the pressure of the disappointment. I became more resolute in anything. So if there's something that's a desire in your heart and you don't quite get it in the timing that you want, hold tight. Hold tight because good things are coming. When you believe in yourself and have that passion that good things are going to come down the road, maybe it's not even a career thing like it was for me. Maybe it's a relationship. And I'm in that battle right now too of I so bad want a loving relationship with someone who will give a damn about me and see me for the value that I offer. And it's very easy when you're out there and there's a lot of rejection. It's very easy to get disappointed. And so I've tried to stay grounded on that and not allowed myself to feel disappointment. Just knowing there's some girl that's going to see the value that I have. And I believe that. I believe it strongly. It will happen. So I say all this to say, it's okay. Be disappointed. Have your moment. But don't stay there. Don't let that defeatist attitude become the dominant thought process in your life. Become the thing you want to be. And you will attract the things that you want. Hear me out on that. Become the thing you want to be and that you really are. I think so many people, they hide who they really are. They're not being authentic with themselves. And everybody around them can see that. It's why I'm so blunt, honest. Whatever girl ends up with me, they're going to get the most blunt, honest guy they've probably ever met. Because I'm that way. And when you are that way, it's hard to not stay grounded and know that good things are coming for you. You just got to hold on. For those of you just joining in, we are on day 80 of my Staybatical 250. 100 days, guys, is coming to an end here 3 weeks from today, so I'm real excited. But in the meantime, we still have lots of fun with these walk and talks. By the way, I'm going to continue the walk and talks even after the 100 days. Still trying to figure out, do I need to make a podcast out of it? Walk and talk with Jimmy Moore or something like that. So we'll figure out what to call it. But that would be fun. So stay tuned on that. But what do you think about this topic here today? I see quite a few comments have come in. Be disappointed, but not defeated. It's okay to be disappointed. Just don't let it get you down, take you down, drag you down into the muckety muck of life. Life is usually not as bad as that moment that we're disappointed makes us feel like it is. So let's see what you guys have to say. Good morning, Sherry. Thank you for being here. Mark says, wow, 80 days. Yeah, I know, right? Finally, 80 days. 80 just seems like I can see the finish line. It's in sight. The crowd is roaring. It's a pretty cool feeling. Good morning, Sharon. Hello, Bulletproof Coconut. Go, Jimmy. What did you do today? 100% strong and fire. I'll take that, brother. I'll take it. Sherry says, congrats. I don't think it will be over. I imagine you will continue. Oh, yeah. This walk is definitely continuing. Definitely going to add in the strength training. I already do a lot of good things. Oh, and I got the ice tank, you guys, the Morosco Forge. And I got back from my trip. And it has a nice sheet of ice over the top. So I'll bust all that up. And at some point, I will get in. And it's 33 degrees, that tank right now. I've never been in a 33 degree water before. You guys want to see me get into 33 degree water? The other day I got in when it was 45 degrees. When it first came in, it got cold pretty quick, down to 45. And so when it was 45 degrees, I stayed in for 20 minutes. I actually did pretty good, but I don't think I can last that long at 33 degrees. I got out after 20 minutes the other day because my feet were numb. It was so cold, my feet were numb. I have a feeling it's going to be number a little quicker than that this time. So if I can go in 33 degree, if I can go 5 to 10 minutes, I think that'll be an accomplishment. So, hello. All right. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that, Mark. Don't die on us, says Bulletproof Coconut. You must have seen me when I was going through the smoke earlier. People like to burn stuff in the South. I don't know what it is about our obsession here in the South, and maybe it's all over, but definitely here in the South, people like to make a big pile of wood, leaves, and they just burn the shit out of it. And I'm like, some of us don't breathe very well with all that smoke. I can always tell when someone in my neighborhood is burning because I smell it in the house. And I'm just like, I guess you grin and bear it. Some people choose to believe they are defeated and a failure rather than get back up. Yes. They not only believe it, they identify as defeated. They identify as a failure. I often tell people, don't do that. Don't put that label of you are a failure, you are defeated, because then you label yourself that. Not a fan of labeling yourself something negative. There's a big trend out there to rename words. So instead of failure, call it not quite a winning opportunity. And instead of defeated, down but not out. Down but not out. Get back up again. There's a great Christian song by this gospel singer named Donnie McClurkin. Go look him up sometime. But he's got a song called We Fall Down. And yes, in a past life, Jimmy was a Christian radio DJ and worked in Christian retail selling Christian music. So I have a big Rolodex of all these songs. But Donnie McClurkin, We Fall Down. Look it up. And it's all about getting knocked down, being disappointed, but not staying down and not staying defeated. Get back up again. There are brighter days to come. And if you stop believing in that, you stop believing hope, then you stop living. And that's when people go down deep, dark paths in their mental pathways that lead them to bad places, really bad places. It could take months and years to get a goal, so we should enjoy the journey, not wait to be happy until we get the goal. Hello. And that's right. Exactly. Bulletproof. Enjoy the process. And look, that's hard, especially for people that have a deep desire for something. Let's say you're trying to lose weight and you have felt defeated for so long in your life and you just want it to happen for you. And I remind people in those circumstances, look, it didn't just happen that you got bigger. It happened over time. So give yourself that equal amount of time to try to bring it back. People don't like that answer because they're like, no, I got fat over 20 years, but I want to get thin in less than a year. That's not fair. Not fair to your body. And that can apply to a lot of areas of life. A lot of areas. Sharon says, the journey can be so hard, but with the right attitude, the arrival is so sweet. You are a very wise woman, Miss Sharon. And you're right. And I've talked about this before, that if things were always easy for you, you would not appreciate the things you got. Some of the hardest things that I've ever gone through in my life are the things that I now appreciate so much more than I ever imagined I would. So much more. That Rodale publisher that let me down and did not give me a book contract, I was very disappointed. And I had a lot of kind of thoughts about that of, okay, what's wrong with me? And then I finally came to the conclusion, nothing's wrong with me. I just need to work harder and keep pursuing. And then I found Victory Belt. And the happy ending to that, by the way, is I went on to write 3 internationally best-selling books. Keto Clarity, the Ketogenic Cookbook, and The Complete Guide to Fasting. 3 back-to-back books that I wrote in 3 years. All 3 of them hitting bestseller status. Complete Guide to Fasting hit Wall Street Journal bestseller, as well as a couple other ones around the world. My books have been translated in over 35 languages. And I look at all that and I go, hey, Rodale. Your loss. Your loss. That disappointment became exhilaration. And sometimes we think we want one thing, and then you get another, and it's far better. So much better. And that arrival is so sweet, as Sharon mentioned. It's awesome. I would not have traded that experience for anything. And who knows, maybe I go with Rodale and I write a book and it doesn't do well. Then that flopped book becomes my legacy as a writer. And I think in my head, nobody likes my writing. That book flopped. Whereas now, Victory Belt let me write 7 books for them. And I wrote 7 books in 7 years. And I'm now writing on my 10th book. Had I gone with Rodale, if the disappointment from that being rejected had not happened, and that book I wrote with them flopped, I would not be in that situation today. Much better place. Much better. Del Norte says, stop with the self-judgment. Take a more gentle approach. Yes. We are so hard on ourselves, aren't we? We like to blame ourselves when things don't go well. Sometimes things have nothing at all to do with us. Sometimes it's just not the right timing. Sometimes we want things now, but they need to gradually develop and become, and then the time is ready. But we like to rush into things, don't we? What the heart wants, the heart gets, I guess is the saying. But what the heart wants, the heart doesn't always get. But if you're patient, you can get those desires of your heart and then some, more than you ever imagined. I have lived it, you guys. Still living it. Leah says it looks like you have a beautiful weather for your walk today. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly. Upper 30s. But the greenery is always nice. I love all the trees. And it's pretty quiet out here, except for the freaking barking dogs everywhere. One of them jumped right at me while ago and was on a leash. And I kind of went, but they were on a leash. There's another doggy. Hello, doggy. You gonna bark at me too? No? You know who I am by this point. I literally do this walk every single day, so these dogs should know who I am by now. Leah says, you are inspiring me. Awesome. I feel like so many of us have shared experiences that we'd be crazy not to talk to each other and sharing the hurts and pains, but sharing the gloriousness and sharing the hopes and dreams. If we never articulate what our desires are, how do we ever expect them to happen and become a thing? You kind of have to put in the effort to tell yourself as well as others how things are going. Not enough of us do that. So I try to do that here on these walk and talks. Thank you for noticing. Mary says, when thinking through the disappointment, I have to work through the emotions of being disappointed first. My emotions definitely cloud my objectivity. Look, feel that feel. Have those emotions. I definitely am not saying don't feel the emotion of the disappointment. You must. And look, when I got rejected by Rodale, I was pretty upset because I knew what I brought to the table. I knew my talent. I knew what I was capable of. I just needed an opportunity. And while Rodale said no, it didn't defeat me because I believed in me. I believed that I had something incredible, that somebody would see that value. And in hindsight, again, really glad it played out the way it did. Even though disappointed in the moment, I think it worked out okay. I think I've sold combined now through my 9 books somewhere around, it's around 750,000 copies of my books. What? Like I wouldn't have ever believed that. But it happened. And I'm grateful. Really grateful. And she says, what's the plan on strength training? How's your back? My back is great. My back's been wonderful for the last couple of months. It was just those first few days that it hurt. Then I twisted my ankles. Now that I've got good running shoes, it's doing pretty good. Still have a few tweaks here and there, trying to get those really solid. The blisters on my toes were the latest thing I dealt with, and those have finally hardened up enough that I don't have to feel those as much anymore. So the plan, as I mentioned earlier, for strength training is either rejoin Planet Fitness and do more of a gym type of thing, or use some of the things around my house. I've got kettlebells, I've got a tractor tire I like to flip. So stay tuned. But I definitely want to add that to the repertoire of all these things I'm already doing. Angie says, when I get in the sea during the winter, it may only be 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Yeah. During the winter, it can be very cold if you live near water. And that's cool. That's a great natural way to get your cold plunge in. The other day when I got out, and this was the 45 degree, when I got out of the 45 degrees in the Morosco Forge, I was so cold when I went back inside, and I had the heat on in there to try to warm up a little, and I was shivering so bad. I was like, screw it. I go hop in my hot tub for about 15 to 20 minutes to warm back up. I was so cold. So we'll see how long I last in the 33 degree icy Morosco Forge. Soon, guys, I will show you. I've got a podcast at 1. Maybe I could do it later today. Go on live. Watch Jimmy freeze his ass off live and on camera. So yes, if you joined us late, this is day number 80 of my Staybatical to 50, 100 days, guys. I'm on this journey seeking to change my body composition through fat loss, through muscle gain, trying to change some of the mindsets of things, which that's been phenomenal. I feel like I'm thinking so much clearer now. Of course, doing these walk-in talks have been unbelievably therapeutic for me. I get to just talk. If you ever wanted to meet the real me, you got it. This is it. This right here. This is the real McCoy, Jimmy Moore. I can't be any more vulnerable or real with you than I do on these walk-in talks. I think it's why a lot of you like watching these, because I don't sugarcoat things. I don't eat sugar anyway. So I just speak from my heart. And today's topic, I see a few new people have just popped in that have experience with this. Today's topic of feeling and being disappointed, but not defeated. When you get disappointed, it's so easy to go down that negative path in your mind of, what did I do wrong? Why am I being rejected? Why is life not rewarding me? I'm a good person, blah, blah, blah. So are you one of those people who goes down that dark path in your mind? Or are you someone who says, you know what? It's just not the right time. It's just not the right opportunity. And the good opportunities and the right timing will come if I'm patient and keep doing all the things. And I know how hard that is, guys. I've been there so many times. And right now I'm being patient in the process of finding a girl in my life. And I know when the right one comes, and I don't try to rush into it and jump at an opportunity because of a feeling of desperation or anything. That right girl will show up and will be exactly right for me. I believe that. Strongly do. And it will. It'll happen. And it can happen for you, other opportunities in your life. So tell me what you think. Before I close this out, I will remind you that all these videos are on my website, livinlavida.com/Staybatical. And you can also use the hashtag Staybatical250 on Instagram, YouTube, and on Facebook. And you can see all the videos there as well. So go check it out if you like what I do here on these walk-in talks. But tell me what you think. Sherry says, hashtag sugarcoat, LOL. Yes, I don't sugarcoat anything. What you see is what you get. I don't try to soften what I think you need to hear. And it's all in love for you guys. I care about you. You care enough to watch me. I care enough to share truth with you. I think it works pretty well. Rosa says, been there. Yes. I think we've all had those moments, haven't we? If you haven't, you haven't lived life. You haven't lived life. It's a lesson that needs to be learned. That's it. When you realize it's just a lesson that needs to be learned, it makes you more apt to not be defeated. You see these opportunities as just that. Yes, disappointment's there, but it's just not quite the right opportunity. And when the right opportunity comes along and you're able to see that through, oh my gosh, Johnny bar the door. You finally get to live life the way you desired it to be. Good morning. And so that's the fun part, when you finally get to realize those things in your life. It's a lot of fun. Hello, Patty. Happy Friday to you. Sherry says, that's why we love you. Aw, thank you. I really love you guys too. I will never BS you, I promise. Life's too short for that stuff. Plus, we have enough people lying to us in this world, telling us purposeful falsehoods for whatever their reasons. No, thank you. Those people are not my people. My people are blunt, honest, forthright. Yes, they care about you and your feelings, but knowing that sometimes there's things that need to be said and heard, that you say them because you care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't tell them these things. Yep. Rosa says, you're meant for something greater. Yeah, exactly. Instead of being disappointed and wallowing in defeat, realize that there are things that are bigger and better. And yes, while that thing you desire, it may seem like the right thing in your mind, you only think that because it's what you know. It's what's there in the moment. But when you allow things to take their course, not try to force it, when that right thing comes along and it's far better than that thing you imagined, you're going to say, thank goodness. Thank goodness I didn't get the one thing. Yes, I was disappointed, but now I'm glad I worked through the disappointment to get to what I have now. It's so good, guys, when you can get to that point where disappointment does not make your life fall apart. I see it all the time. People have these hopes and desires for their heart, and then when they don't get them, they break apart. They break down. Life is just too much for them to handle, and I'm thinking, get a grip, people. Okay, life didn't go the way you wanted it to. Lament it a little bit, I guess. Be disappointed in things not happening the way you wanted them to, I guess. But know that, okay, it's not the right time, and good things are sure to come. And in the meantime, you don't mope, you don't complain, you put in the effort, you put in the work, you build relationships, you do all the things that got you to that point of desiring the thing in the first place. And if that thing didn't work out, watch what the next one is. And you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at how much way better that thing is than the thing you originally desired. I hope you guys are feeling me on this today. I have lived this, and because I've lived it and experienced it, it makes me hopeful and expectant that it'll happen again in other areas of my own life and in your life. All right, guys, that's what I have to say here today. As always, pop over to my website, livinlavidalowcarb.com/staybatical. You can see all the past videos, or you can use hashtag staybatical250. Find me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Thank you guys watching live on Instagram Live, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Bye, everyone.